Greetings and welcome back to another supporters stream. Go ahead and unmute everybody before I forget. We are actually streaming on the actual computer today instead of the laptops. It's so much easier of a workspace, but my battery has been completely full for the last 2 days. So I've charged every single device that I have, and we're doing pretty good over here with power-wise. I've been kind of in more open areas, less trees, and unfortunately that means more cities, so I haven't gotten as much exercise in, so I kind of don't feel as good as I usually do. I have not seen
you don't want to get out of the van and get mugged.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I mean, I could go walk around the shopping plaza, but I might get hit up by some homeless dude or whatever else. I don't know. This one's a big enough one. I could probably, I don't know. Well, how's it going, everybody? Dan, you survived a couple rain a little bit, I hear?
Yeah, rain, snow, hailstones. Yeah, I had a little bit of everything.
All right, very good. Ivan, what's going on your way?
Oh, we got dumped on with a nor'easter yesterday, and my area only got like a foot to 15 inches, but we had a few spaces that had like up to 35 inches.
Yeah.
So it's messy.
Nice. Mark, what's going on your way?
Just like I say, some personal care, just showering, grooming, and not
all that kind of stuff.
Like you forgot to do that in the past.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
no.
I'm a van dweller. I can say I have not had a legit shower this year. I mean, I've gotten clean, but grooming. I mean, I shaved off the beard. I don't look the homeless part anymore. But
Good. But no, as far as I've been doing desktop as a service, so I've been setting that up late last night and some today. This afternoon, I've been setting up shelves, and I about forgot to mention it. And I'm running Windows in my shell so that I can run a couple Windows applications that I can't run on Linux. That way, if I'm not like doing remote access or something, I can operate inside Linux full time. That way, I've got Solus on the second computer, Solus OS, that's running just rock solid stable, fantastic. Same thing on the I've got Fedora on the workstation. It's also rock solid.
Yeah,
so
there you go. Yeah,
I found a good fit, and I found a good setup for me, and it's worth it to me to pay the $18.95 a month and not have to. I don't really have to touch it if I don't want to. All I got to do is just hit install to install the updates, and I just let them maintain it.
There's a guy that goes by the name Mint Spider. You might have seen him on one of the
I've heard of him,
channels. Linux Saloon or Tux Digital or something like that once in a while. He's a hardcore Solus guy.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice.
I ran it years ago, Dan.
Yeah, let me check in on comments real quick before we get into our topic. We'll try and get into our topip here. And
the natives are getting restless.
Yeah, absolutely. So Commodore fans over there, we got 17, 18, somewhere around 17 or so watching on YouTube right now. Lemon Squeeze, how's it going there? Commodore fan, hello. Moonbase Alpha Grace, don't take me to your leader. Yes, T-Mobile is going to swallow up Mint Mobile. That will be in the news tomorrow. We'll talk about that. I'm not sure if I'm going to completely get rid of my affiliate. I may or may not switch accounts. The good thing about Mint Mobile, at least as it currently is, who knows if it's going to stay that way under T-Mobile, you can still give it a bunch of gobbledygook information, give it a payment, a prepaid card, and they never have your information unless you have actually had them mail you a card. Of course, you could probably send, deliver that to any random mailbox too, and go in there and steal the mail before somebody gets. No, don't do that. Don't be against the law. But there are ways to use Mint Mobile in its current form that are still anonymous. We'll see if that happens. And of course, that does raise concerns because T-Mobile seems to get itself breached every other day. And
that's going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And so if it's, and like the way it currently is, the Mint Mobile and companies that are using T-Mobile's network that are independent are not part of the breach, but the T-Mobile services that are part of it, like PC Metro, for example, is T-Mobile, those are included in the breaches. And so if it comes down to using an NVMO that's not part of T-Mobile to stay independent, Mint Mobile, I don't know what's going to happen happen with it, but we'll think about it, and I'll have at least something to think about tomorrow. Maybe I just look at some of the other ones because there's a number of other cell carriers as well that we could look at. Hello from the UK, says Lemon Squeeze. Greetings, Linux fellow users, from Darren Clift. Hello, Pacific Northwest. Very good. Smash that thumbs up. That's right. Am I in Seattle or Portland? No. I was in that area a couple months ago. And what's wrong with beards? Nothing's wrong with beards. As I said, I'm not sure if you follow the channel as much, Darren, but I had a big ol' homeless dude looking beard for a while. But I just started my my round through professional conferences and things, and so I kind of wanted to look a lot more respectable since we're doing a lot of things with more professional and business type stuff. So I figured I'd go ahead and do the responsible adult thing, as they say. Some jobs do frown on the homeless look. Some jobs don't care. I mean, I could always become like an undercover operative for the CIA. Then the homeless look just fits in. I'm just one more homeless dude on the side of the streets with high tech gadgets underneath my my broken down pants or whatever else. Let's see. I've had no update for a few weeks. There you go. Jamie's Lee, greetings from the UK. Lemon Squeeze has a beard. Very good. I do support the beards. Over there on Odyssey now. We're up to about 22 on YouTube. We have 19 currently watching on Odyssey. We are streaming on 5 different platforms. You can always head on over to switchedtolinux.com/live for the current streaming links. I do update that every day. We have a streaming show. Faisal, greetings. Tech Anchorage is there. Of course, that is also Ivan. Check out Tech Anchorage. Or the Anchorage.
Yeah.
Or is it Tech Anchorage? TEA. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, yeah. Ivan. You have a weird channel name, but check him out over there on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm eating homemade lasagna. Everything is good today. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Just don't tell Mr. Tom the Heretic likes pineapple pizza. That's right. Or he'll tell you to add like peanut butter or something to your lasagna. Ew, peanut butter and lasagna? Oh, no. Lasagna is good. I mean, and just add a little bit of pineapple to your lasagna and you're fine, No, I've never done that.
It almost sounds good.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean,
lasagna, yes. Spaghetti, no.
I mean,
no pineapple in my lasagna. That's great.
Mushrooms and spaghetti is good.
We're just getting ready for some pizza right now. So.
There you go.
Who gave that to you, SpongeBob?
No, fun fact, I actually always have fresh pineapple on board. I'm scheduled to run out of pineapple tomorrow, so since I'm parking in a Walmart parking lot right now, I figured I'd run in and grab another pineapple. So when I run out of pineapple tomorrow, I already have one on hand, so I can jump in there and get myself ready. So we'll go ahead and keep our pineapple back there for the fun meme, and maybe I'll have pineapple.
Them things are kind of hard to open up.
Yeah, well,
They're almost as bad as a coconut.
Yeah, but that might be true. But, I'm not going to let nothing stand in the way of me and my fresh pineapple. So
coconut is easy to open.
There you go. We have 10 watching over on Rumble, where all the Rumbles going on. Devoured Eagle, greetings. Hey, well, first over there as well. Hello to you. We have a $20 Rumble rant. Tom, if you look at other mobile services, tell us what you think about Pure Talk. Yeah, there's a few other ones. Like there's one I looked at, it was like Patriot Mobile. I looked at. The thing that turned me off about that is they lock the SIM card to your device, which is good in that somebody can't steal it, but it's bad if you drop your device in a toilet. And I got, a pile of other cell phones here that my current T-Mobile one, I just pop out the SIM card, pop it in some other compatible device, and I don't skip a beat. And I don't know, maybe it's not locked and people don't even know what it means. So anyway, but yeah, should I look? I will look into Pure Talk as well. There's Patriot Mobile, Pure Talk. I will look into some of these other ones. And if there's any more, let me know.
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe I'll just
going to be a coming thing because, a lot of the cell phones they're making now, especially the Apple phones, they're building the SIM right into the phone.
Yep. Yeah, the eSIMs. So, whatever. Who knows? As long as we have a means to contact them to swap it over. And I do have VoIP phones in my computers. So, I mean, that's the thing. Let's see. But thank you for the Rumble rant. Ooh, Twitch values your privacy. All right, I'm sure you do. One watching over there on Twitch, and I have no idea of how many are watching over there on The Lost Stepchild because they keep on doing weird things. We do have a live chat on Locals. It's a very sad and lonely place over there, though. I got to figure out how to get that going. That's also another fun thing. I'm looking about using. I'm looking at using other options. Like I'm looking at creating the channel memberships on YouTube, and I'm trying to figure out what types of things you guys would want, because I really have to, when I turn it on, I have to get in and set very specific things, which is a little annoying why I haven't done it yet, but that's kind of the case. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into our topic here. Salbu, I didn't say hello to you yet. You jumped on a little late. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. I saw Ivan commented in the Matrix channel that you were live now, and then I thought, right, you just changed from winter time to summertime. We don't do that until the last Sunday of March.
Yeah,
that's what the redacted guys were saying. They're out of whack by a week.
Yeah, and it kind of, it was weird because I went into a church and I come back out and it was still the same time the church started. I'm like, did I just enter a time warp?
Yeah.
Did the rapture happen while I was in there? I mean, I don't know.
The Locals, if you guys want to join the Locals or take a look at it on Rumble, if you hit the join button, it'll take you there.
Correct, yes. So we do have that, or it's just switchedtolinux.locals.com. It's a good way to do supporting. You can do one-time supporting. Now, if you do a one-time supporting, you will have access to everything that goes over there for a month. I can say I'm a little behind. I really wanted to get that next tinfoil hat time out, and I've kind of been pushing it off because of how long the video is, and that's me, and I'm entirely lazy about that. Maybe I need to hire an editor or something. It's not something I like to do. But who knows? Who knows? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into our topic here. Of course, we are talking about Docker, which is logo's a big whale. So it's going down. It's going down. So they just pushed a thing. Now, it's not as massive as it is, but it is going to cause a significant hurt to the brand of the company. So Docker, for anybody unaware of it, this is something you're more aware of if you're doing a lot of server type stuff. You can build applications and put them in the Docker formatting. And when you're building like servers or something and you're looking at other applications available, you'll oftentimes find Docker install. So Calibora, which is the online version of LibreOffice, there's a Docker build for that. I think there's a Docker build. Maybe there might be one for Nextcloud. I can't remember. Docker builds for a lot of things. Every single time I have attempted to use Docker, it has had a lot of issues, a lot of failure points. It was literally, I'd rather be using a snap package to tell you what I think about Docker. So for me, this isn't a direct affront, although if there's any applications I'm using that do require Docker for whatever reason, this is kind of problematic. Anybody want to add to what Docker is briefly before I jump on? Maybe somebody who's used it more than I have, because I hate it.
It's a line of clothes in your favorite clothes store.
Wrong Docker. All right.
Yeah.
So what's going on here is very abundantly and very tersely, and probably without running it by anybody who has a rational thinking, they basically just came out and said, hey, in a very short period of time, every organization using the free option is either going to have to give us $450 or we're going to delete everything. And there were no time frames given. There was no real rationale. There was no compassion behind it. There was no acknowledgement that Docker is used for a ton of open source organizations. Now, you can set up a free Docker account, and anything you do on your free Docker account is perfectly fine. So if there's some open source project, you could create a personal account and then port all your stuff over and then You can keep it alive that way, or you can pay the starting fee of $450 per year. And when you pay that, then your organization gets around. But if you have an organization because you've set it up properly and it's an open source application and you're using Docker to distribute your software, you are either going to have to start paying $450 a year or risk it being deleted. And they weren't really nice about it. But they actually did kind of come back and soften up the letter a little bit. Like, ooh, I'm sorry. Picture that. Was that Simpsons episode or was that a South Park episode? I can't remember where the guy was.
The way I wrote this is he started writing it like he had just opened his electric bill.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yesterday, Docker sent an email to any Docker Hub user who's created an organization telling them their account will be deleted, including all images, if they do not upgrade to the paid team plan. Email contained a link to a tersely written PDF, since silently edited. It was 1984. Winston Smith is on the staff. If you guys are ever running, just a side note, if you're ever running a media company and you plan on silently editing things, you have to have a proxy employee named Winston Smith. You got to do it. You need somebody in there to make stealth edits to your PDFs. It was missing many important details, which caused significant anxiety and additional work for open source maintainers. As far as we know, this only affects organization accounts that are often used by open source communities. There was no change to personal accounts. Free personal accounts have a 6-month retention period. So what is the problem? Paid plans. Oh, it's $420 a year. I'm sorry, not $450. So $420. So they're all a bunch of stoners. Great. Got it. Many open source projects, including ones I maintain, have published images in the Docker Hub for years, and Docker's open source program is hostile and out of touch. Great. That's all we need for our open source software. Hey, but you know what? If Moby Dick goes down to the bottom of the ocean and bloats and explodes, I really don't care. Every time I've tried to use Docker programs, they just keep on failing on me. So I gotta say. All right, before we dig too much deeper, what do you guys think about this? Tersely sending out an email saying, pay us a whole bunch of money or we're going to close you down. What are your thoughts?
I think they're experiencing what everybody else is experiencing, is rising costs and everything. However, they could have done this letter much more subtle. They could have just came out and said, due to the increased expenses that we have, we are going to implement a price increase, and not make it so abrupt right off the get-go. They could have had 6-month plans that were, half the price to offer due to a year, to get people to adjust into paying them if they want to keep it that way. But just to come around and say we want $450 and we want it now, that's kind of rude.
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, I did see it was paid monthly though, so it's like 420 divided by 12, whatever that's going to be.
35.
What is it?
35.
35. Okay. Sorry, I was too out there to do the math in my head.
I missed that part completely.
All right. Yeah.
And also, they gave the affected accounts a really short time in order to decide. They have 30 days to pay up, and if they don't, they will be locked out of the account, and then given another 30 days to pay up, or having their stuff removed. What is not clear of the few articles that I've read is that even though the thing might be closed for the public, do the account holders still have access in order to download their content? But at least they have 30 days to decide.
Yeah, you save 30 days to decide for your whole open source project. They did indicate that there were a few little weird exceptions, like things that were, quote, too big to fail, maybe. If it's used regularly for Mac OS and Windows, there are some such things. Those ones don't have to pay out for now. Let's see. I'm not one of the people who thinks software and services should be free. I pay for the accounts, not because I publish the images, but because I need to pull images for the base for Go. Node.js is part of my daily open source work. One of our open FAAS customers grumbled about paying for Docker Desktop. I went over several weeks trying to get Podman or Rancher Desktop working. I had to bite my tongue. If you're using Windows or Mac machine, it's worth the CTO. Personally, for a very long time, I was surprised at how out of touch the communication was. I'm not the only one. You can read the reactions on Twitter, including many quote tweets on Hacker News. We'll go over there in a moment. So these are kind of the issues he said. The cost of an organization that hosts public images has risen from $0 per year to $420 per year. Many open source projects receive little or no funding, and I would understand if Docker would want to clamp down on private repos because what open source repository needs them. So to be clear, private repos, not affected. Personal accounts, not affected. Just open source publicly available projects. Which almost kind of sounds,
They're going for the money. They know there's money in them foundations.
Or they're going for a corporate takeover.
That too.
And we'll get to that in a bit. Too many open source projects have published images for years, as back as 2016 for OpenFAAS. Anyone could cyber squat the image or publish malicious content. So, in other words, if they say, well, we're not going to pay, we're going to close our project down. And this is a problem that GitHub had when a lot of people left when they were bought by Microsoft, more on that later. But people would come in and create accounts in the same names as other people who've left and host malware. And so any link going back to that repo on the internet would end up getting back and downloading malware instead. So that's a problem.
But that will not happen in this case. Docker has publicly gone out and said that any account that is closed or deleted will be permanently locked for the foreseeable future. No one will be allowed to create any project with the same name in order to do this.
Okay, so that's one of the things they must have changed when the original article had come out, because that was one of the early questions people had.
That's what I got out of it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
3, Docker has a hostile and out-of-touch definition of what is allowable for their open source program. It rules out anything other than spare time projects or projects that have been wholly donated to the open source foundation. Not having a pathway to commercialization, your organization must not seek to make a profit through services or by charging for higher tiers. Accepting donations to sustain your efforts is permissible. All right. So that's some of the language stuff that's in there. There are some workarounds he talks in here, and what I kind of wanted to get to, anybody want to mention anything else before we get into some other issues here that I saw?
I think we covered everything so far.
Yeah. So one of the things people were saying is, there's a lot in here, but one of the things saying is, hey, maybe we should migrate on over to like GitHub or something. The problem is GitHub was purchased by Microsoft, and a lot of weird little things have happened over there, including the fact that now if you're working with GitHub, you have to have a Microsoft account, and you're basically giving, it's yet one more way for Microsoft to get in there and start doing a bunch of funny and funky things.
And not to mention when Microsoft purchased GitHub, a whole bunch of people hopped off of GitHub and took their stuff over to GitLab.
Yep. So GitLab is there, and there's also self-hosted options for GitLab as well.
That and Codeberg.
Yep. There was another issue.
And there's also SourceHut and GitT, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What about GitHub's own reliability? I was talking to a customer for Actuated only yesterday. They were happy with our product and service, but the first week of POC saw downtime due to GitHub's increasing number of outages and instances. Of course. And they didn't mention here a lot about it.
Microsoft Defense, one thing that they did do, which is beneficial for everyone who has a GitHub account in any capacity, private repos are free for everyone. You don't, after Microsoft took over, a month or two after that, they announced that private repos will be available for everyone without paying anything.
Yeah, that is good, because that's one of the reasons I have never worked with GitHub extensively, is because it's like, I wouldn't do anything for public use. I'd want it private use. I'm not paying for that. But again, that is a way that Microsoft can encourage more people to get in there and have people signing in on Microsoft accounts.
If you're going to do something for private use, but you want to make it public, put your private project together, and maybe you could put it on something like SourceForge. There's a lot of private projects over there on SourceForge that pop up.
Yeah, there are. That would be an option.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would have never predicted the way that Docker changed since its rebirth from the darling of the open source community on every developer's laptop to where we are today. So with recent developments on GitHub, like Actions and GHCR, only getting better, with them being acquired by Microsoft, it's tempting to believe that they're infallible and wouldn't make a decision that would hurt maintainers. All businesses need to work on profit and loss basis. A prime example of how GitHub also hurt open source developers was when it canceled all sponsorships to maintainers that were paid over to PayPal. This was done in very short notice and hit my own open source work very hard, made it even worse by the global downturn. Yeah, that's and then of course here's the question: what if GitHub does a Docker on us? This is one of the things I wanted to point out, because a lot of companies like PayPal first came out and started announcing that, well, they're not going to refund the processing fee for if you need to refund somebody's money. And so if you were to make a purchase on somebody's PayPal store and then decide, well, I don't need that, whatever else, and you refund the money back, PayPal is going to keep the fees involved in processing that. So the store owner is going to take a net loss in that. All right. And so they first did that. A number of people complained. A small amount of people completely left PayPal. But in some instances, like some of my affiliate marketing, PayPal is the only way they pay you. I have no choice but to have a background PayPal account. Now, it's not connected and used by anybody else. It's nothing that I share publicly. It's nothing you can gain access to because I have other ways of doing invoicing if I need to do an invoice. But for those few cases, and the very few cases that have to use something else, PayPal is the only option. But if you need to refund the money, you lose that. Well, that caused an initial stink. Well, then Stripe started doing that. And then Square's like, well, to follow industry standards, because PayPal started the industry standard. Well, if Docker does this, and then GitHub looks at it and says, well, that caused a little bit of backlash, but we can survive that. Let's do it. And then they can declare the death blow to open source. And is that not in the spirit of Microsoft's embrace, extend, extinguish model that they have always done, which happens on a very slow basis? People saying, oh, that was a long time ago. It takes a long time to start a war, which is kind of why I'm concerned that World War III might be right around the corner, because it takes a long time to get there. Okay. And apparently our server's like, yeah, man, we're going to shut you down. You're talking too much about stuff we don't want to hear. So we'll give it a few seconds, get our Jitsi server reconnected here. I don't know why our server's been falling down a little bit more lately, but let's go ahead and jump in there. Oh, and something went wrong again. I got in and then it crashed again on me. So let's try one more time here. That's exciting. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Rejoining now. Join. Okay, I'm in. Hey, there we are. We're mostly back. Yeah, Jitsi's like, are you talking bad about us? You talking bad about us? All right. Any other thoughts? Are you guys all back? Most of you guys are back.
Yeah.
All right.
Here I am.
Yay, we made it back. Let me change.
Yeah,
the
I'm
performance
finally
settings
back.
a little bit. There we are. Awesome. All right.
We're using wrong speech.
Yeah, I got
know
onto this
what's
wrong
happened?
speech tirade, and the thing's like, excuse me? No, we're going to shut you down, boy. That's what happens when my server's bought out by a global conglomerate, right?
You know,
Yeah,
this
it's
kind
funny
of
that
thing is
it happened
it's a,
just as you were talking about the possibility of World War III, and then poop. No.
Yep.
Yep.
Wrong think, Dan.
yeah, something the internet caught that.
All gone. Bye bye.
You know, this kind of thing does not happen just once. Once one person or one organization does it, you know, these things come in trends. You know, just like the bank failures, one goes under, and then a bunch of other think, well, we'll just go under too.
Yeah,
You
there
know?
you go.
Yeah, and you know, even down to phones. You know, Apple puts a notch in their phone. Samsung's got to put a notch in their phone. Apple gets rid of the headphone jack. Samsung, Motorola, and the rest get rid of their headphone jacks. It's it's
And a lot of people don't even realize this. One of the churches I do some work for, they just buy a new phone. And because the phone's getting old, they buy a new phone. If they use their phone for streaming, they just plug their phone in the headphone jack. They don't even think about the fact that the headphone jack wouldn't not be there. And so they get the new device and plug it. There's no headphone jack. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, I remember there was devices like this little cube you stuck in the headphone jack that you scanned credit cards with.
Yep.
That made those obsolete. And people depended on them to receive payments at fairs and stuff like that.
No, you can still get them. They make them for like the USB ports and stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are kind of big. I see them frequently in the world here. All right. Any other commentary on that, or should we jump over to comments? See what people are saying. Let's jump over to comments real quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Oh Lord, everybody sounds like robots to me right
What's that? All right. Lemon squeeze. My beard is rubbish, by the way. We'll join the meeting, but my sister is in the other room watching something, and closing the door doesn't really mean sound. All right. Well, you've joined us, so. No unicorn meat. We'll have to get some unicorn meat. Skeggy is good. We put a cheese and meat on it. As long as it's okay, but for Mexican food, there you go. Pizza time. Pizza, turtles, and ninjas. Yikes. Let's see. Using Tello. They've been good too. I've not seen Tello before. It's the old apple cherry pizza from Pizza Hut buffet back in the day. Oh man, Pizza Hut buffets. Want the CEO of Twitch? Wasn't the CEO of Twitch? I have no idea. I cannot say I follow what's going on Twitch. Let's see. 23 to 27 on YouTube. Right now it's showing me about 30 to 35. Right.
I got 34.
Yeah, something like that. GitHub is a perfect way to replace and register containers. I'm going to use Docker to learn web development. There's way better ways, I think. Docker killing itself. I don't know. Maybe it's making itself more profitable. Who knows? Gotta have costs too. Gotta make some money. But there are some other ones. There are some other ones that would probably work better. I don't know. Use GPT to compose a better letter.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I start downloading my favorite Linux distros to help them pay. Yeah. Your cat is lying, so I can be. Can I be a human forever? The cat has declared you're going to be a human forever. I know you were morphing through time. Any creature morph. You were morphing through time through all sorts of different creatures, whatever else, and you landed on human. And my cat just said, "Nope, you're done." So you are stuck as a human for the rest of your life. I've tried to petition the kitty for you, and he's just not budging. Yeah. Never used the application. Let's see. The 3 E's will never go away. Yes, it's going to take a while, but we're not going to talk about that anymore because, that'll get us, that'll get the Jitsi server shut down again, Hello, Spin Viking. Greeting. All right. Checking in over on Odyssey comments now. We have 25 currently watching on Odyssey. Let's see. eSIM sounds good, but we are, as long as we have the freedom to change the provider. Yeah, I'm not sure about eSIM. It's that good old Luddite in me coming back out. Facebook AI should just be called Joseph Stalin. Why is everyone mad for AI these days? So, it's because people are not even thinking about what it's going to do, and then it's a mad embrace to whoever can do the most with it the fastest, and the hell with the consequences, which we don't even give any thought to.
We're gonna have to learn as a human race that there are consequences the hard way, and we're gonna have to learn that for the next year or so. And eventually, hopefully, we will adapt and learn from our consequences that are more immediate and earth shattering. In generations, we will know the dangers of AI and how to use it and embrace it, but do so responsibly. Hopefully, in the next 3 to 5 years, we learn our lessons and we know AI can be helpful, but in the wrong hands, or if you're not careful with how you approach it and how you implement it, it can be extremely dangerous. But I think I'm optimistic in hoping that we learn our lessons early on, so that we can adapt and know how to handle it responsibly.
I don't think we're really ever going to learn. People are too lazy to actually assume that kind of responsibility. There will be a day when the Pentagon conforms with GPT chat to ask what the next strategical move is going to be.
Yeah, it's next.
At that point, all hope is lost.
Yeah.
AI is never going to be sentient. All AI is just scouring the internet, and it's machine learning.
Well, that's the problem with it, because it's going to start learning off of itself, and then as it learns off itself, it does a death spiral, and then by then human society will have placed all of our eggs in the basket of ChatGPT as it spirals itself into the abyss.
Perhaps.
Patriot Flow here over on
the path. We might actually be on the path to create a Terminator, and we all know how well that went.
I mean, we'll either get Terminator, which is going to destroy us, or we're going to get Vicky, which is going to enslave us. Take your pick. Would you like to be enslaved or destroyed? Or you could get whatever the Matrix AI is called.
That's an easy pick for me as a Christian. I'd rather be destroyed.
Well, there you go. But the Matrix too, for utilization, and there's a few other ones out there as well. But
freedom or death, and I prefer freedom.
There you go. Patriot Flow over on Odyssey says, we are living in crazy times when tech nerds are the most skeptical about the tech. Absolutely. That's true, because we're aware of what it does. We're not just being the average person that sits there and goes, I don't know what's going on,
we understand the ramifications of it and self-writing code and stuff and how dangerous it can be.
Actually, they should throw the AI a Bible.
They're worried about it.
Yeah, I remember I don't remember his name, but there was someone who is a very prominent developer. He said that people who are enthusiastic about technology has all the smart gadgets of any kind throughout their house. And he who is a developer who writes code, and he has access to all kinds of he swears that no smart thing will ever enter his house because he knows how they work, and because of that he won't have it in his house. So
Killer SCB over on Rumble reminds us it was South Park with the I'm sorry after the BP CEO. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was South Park or Simpsons, but I knew it was one of those two. But thank you for that. Docker's a server container, no GUI like with snaps or Flatpaks, more for moving web pages to other computers without worrying about references. Yes. There are also other containers. Don't look forward to a future when I can get into an argument with my car's AI and have it drive me off the bridge. Yes, that is kind of problematic.
Ouch.
Oh, nice. We have a spam advertiser over on twitch.tv from the Krusty Thyroid. The Krusty Thyroid says, "Hi, I want to offer a promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, views, chats, and bots. The price is lower than any competitor. Quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible, convenient order management panel. Everything in your hands. Turn on, turn off, customize. Is it dogehyped.com? Nice. That's right, guys. Going over there. And yeah, there you go. Do we have I am logged in to Twitch. Do I not have the option on Twitch to actually go in there, like ban a person and report as spam?
I haven't.
Twitch? Are you that stupid, really?
Jeez.
There's a click to reply. There is a click to reply. I can pin something, but I cannot ban a spammer from Twitch. What? I can't delete this comment. What in the hell is Twitch up to? Holy hell.
I always thought that Twitch was...
You might have to
gamers.
type a command into the chat to ban someone. I'm not sure. I'm
going to know how to do that right off the top of my head.
Yeah, /ban. Yeah, do like /ban username. Let's see what that does.
Weird. Oh, well. If anybody knows how to use the monstrosity that is Twitch and lets you know how to ban somebody over there, let me know. That'd be awesome. DT jumped over there on a YouTube. Too late for Tom on Fire. Oh, no. I mean, I'm kind of pissed off at Twitch right now. Nothing related to the commentary. Absolutely. Twitch bots are useless. If you set up Twitch follow only mode, they can't post. Yeah, but then I can't get comments over there. Come on, I love reading their stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Humans tend to be reactive, not proactive. A situation that we can't fix but should be avoided by proactive, we'll be focusing our resources and blaming until our last breath. Yeah, I mean, there's some things that it's good that we are proactive or reactive to instead of proactive. Like, I do not want proactive law enforcement. Okay.
Yeah. There are some places where reacting is better than,
correct. Because proactive policing is Minority Report, and they start arresting people before they actually commit crime, and that's kind of problematic.
Yeah, if you haven't actually done it, you shouldn't be able to be arrested for something you haven't done. That just sounds just terrifying.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like we got through most of all of that. Let's see. Yeah, very good. So that was our discussion on Docker. Yeah, I mean it's not the end of the world. It's not super amazing either. So it's whatever it is. Yeah. So anyway, any other thoughts from anybody else here?
Thoughts that are relevant?
Or anything.
Like I said, Docker's looking just for some money, and then it's gonna be a model that's gonna become contagious with other hosting places, where they're gonna figure out if there's people not paying on their platform that they're gonna ask them to cough up some too.
I mean, it would be more understandable if they just said, "Hey, we can't afford to keep providing this for free." If they were just upfront about we can't afford to keep doing this for y'all for free, so can y'all pay us something so we can afford to keep doing this? But
yeah, or have I think somebody I don't think we didn't jump over to the hacker news. Let's go ahead and look at that. I think what some of the people are saying over here is, one option is, hey, anybody future will have to pay, and give a year maybe before people have to start paying would be a better thing. Like, hey, we just can't afford to continue to run all these for free, so we're going to give you a year to decide what you're going to do. But all new accounts, all new organizations must be paid at this point in time.
Well, the other thing, they also can do this too. They could have actually had a standard account which had X amount of space for your work. and that's it for free. Then they could have went and offered a premium account where you could have a much larger space,
It's
depending on
basically
what
like
they
the
had for
cloud
sale.
storage business model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a certain size or a certain number of images or something before you'd have to start charging. There's other things they could have done to make it a little bit slower or smoother process. I completely support if they need to start charging for it. That's fine. But it's
just like dropping it on them, like don't do that. That sounds stupid.
And you got 30 days. You got 30 days. And
That's not long enough.
Yeah, that almost sounds like extortion, except it's not, because they have a terms of service, which they can change at any point in time.
Yeah, it's kind of like a press conference at the White House. They come out and blah, 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 and answer 2 or 3 questions from the people they want to, and they run off stage.
Run! The real reporter's going to ask real questions. But you didn't hear that that Mr. President is the most effective communicator in the White House? Tells you a lot.
Right, most snoozinator.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we got to the bottom of our comments everywhere.
I'm going to pet my kitty.
Channel, they can chat just fine. Oh, okay, so basically I need to allow them to follow before they can chat. Okay, that would be good. Maybe I'll dig through the settings over here on Twitch here, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Twitch is mostly comprised of gamers.
Yeah.
And
it's
most
mainly...
of the games are comprised of killing something. So you got spammed by somebody that's angry about killing something.
Yeah. All right. I think we'll probably wrap this one up here then. So we will be back with the weekly news roundup tomorrow. That'll be fun. I did actually remember. Let me see. Copy link address. I did actually remember to set up the Christian stream tonight as a premiere instead of just accidentally scheduling it at 9 a.m. So if you are interested in the Christian stuff, we are doing Hosea chapter 11 today. God's conflict over His people, and just like the South Park episode, I'm sorry, because that's kind of how God felt after having to destroy His people for their disobedience. So you can jump on over there. It is premiering at 9 p.m. on YouTube, and then it will spread over to all of the alternative tech channels shortly thereafter. But if you want to catch it on the premiere, that'll be going up in just over an hour from now. With that, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you guys tomorrow with the weekly news roundup.
Have an awesome day or night or whatever it is where you are.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's day or night. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I just don't know.
Take care, everybody.